Hello and welcome back with me, Admiral, joining me back on Star Trek Fleet Command. Today's episode is going to be a bit of a random episode. Today's episode is going to be all about how to do missions stupidly fast if you don't have a discovery and you have access to these said officers. And I will explain them in just a second. Just want to say thank you to all of the new subscribers. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and don't forget to comment and like the videos down below. Roll the intro. Joining me back on Star Trek. So what we've done is I've sort of come together and thought, what could be of use to people when they come to do missions, when they come to do other things, but they don't have access to a discovery? Since we're on the kind of discovery sort of trail, I thought this could be a good option for you. This is not an option where you would go and fight other players. You would fight PvP, PvE. This is not something for that type of missions or them type of sort of engagement. This is literally a simple case of if you just have to travel from point to point doing certain missions, you have to just go and do the mission, see what it is. This is a pretty good option for you to do. So what we've got is we've got Pan as our captain. The reason we have Pan as our captain is because Pan increases the impulse speed of the ship by 20%. Obviously, this goes up when he has obviously synergy bonuses, and it obviously also goes up when he gets certain character obviously upgrades as well. Ignore the second ability because we're not interested in that at the moment. And then likewise you have obviously Stamets, which is obviously the basic Stamets, which is the origin Stamets, and his ability again is increasing the warp speed of the ship by 38%. Again, this is a synergized one, so this will also actually I don't think that one does go. That goes up by his level rather than getting synergy bonuses. And then you have the no, I don't think it does. And then you have the last one, which is Cadet Scotty, which is to increase the warp distance of the ship by 5. If you haven't maxed out, obviously this will vary depending on your level of Scotty. However, generally speaking, this will be somewhere in the region of obviously 1, 2, 5. I've got it paired to my Sally at the moment just to show how fast this ship can go. So it does zip around, and if we go to a normal destination, for example, if we just let me just recall it to station just to make it easier. If we go to our normal destination where we've been farming the last few weeks, now if we go to Gorath, which is where we've been farming, it would take me 6 minutes to travel there. Just to put that into sort of comparison, if we get rid of Stamets, which is why you would add him to the ship, if you got rid of him with just the normal capabilities of the Saladin, for example, bearing in mind I will show you I do have a tier 7 Saladin, which is, you know, it's not maxed out obviously, but it's not maxed out at tier 7 either. It doesn't have the warp engine, but I have it pretty close. This has a warp speed of 6. This is not as good as the Explorers, so doing this on an Explorer would be even better. Just put that into perspective because their warp speed, generally speaking, on an Explorer is even better. So for example, if we switch this ship out to our Centurion, which is only a tier 4 by the way, but you can see that the warp speed on the Explorer ships, generally speaking, is better than any other ship within the game. So I would stick to Explorers doing this with as well. I just don't have a high enough tier Explorer to show you. That's the only difference. But yeah, so you can see at the moment our Saladin is at 6. As you can see, our Centurion was at 6.5. And that was only tier 4, so you can put that sort of into perspective. But like I say, if we show you this now, it takes us 7 minutes 30 seconds. So by having Stamets on there, you're minusing like a minute and a half essentially off your time. What you can do as well, if we just throw him back on as well, if you don't need the range upgrade, what you can do whenever the fuck I can find this guy, you don't have to have Scotty on there. And what I would recommend is just synergize the shit out of him. The reason for that, so there we go. So when you have that on, and then what you can do is synergize obviously Pan in this case, pretty much put whoever you want on. If you want to team him up with someone useful, I guess, you could put him with Navi just because of her Guardian ability. Because going on to a second ability, if you do get into a fight, he has a 25% chance of hull breach. This is just for obviously my tier of Pan. So having a good person to put him with is probably going to be Navi just for the Guardian Angel. Because if you do have a hull breach, Navi increases the armor dodge, shield deflection and dodge of the ship by 50% for this round, which is a pretty good use. You can put Rima on as well. Which again increases Rima, adds 5% critical hit chance, which I think is pretty crap. But if you have the synergy, which is a 15% synergy bonus, and then confirm that, for example, then his ability goes up to 35%, and then it just makes your ship even faster, again going up to 155 overall. So if we then go back to again the system and then we watch his zip round, the Saladin is pretty quick when he obviously is on, and as shown here, he does make it round pretty quickly. So when it comes to doing missions, you can zip in, zip out, and obviously this is a good crew for that exploration sort of doing. Have Stamets on there just to increase the warp range capability of the ship. If you want to increase it even further, for example, what you can do, and you don't mind sacrificing that his synergy bonus for the impulse speed, what you can do is you can put the mining thing on. The only thing is with the mining one, which is wherever she is gone, Helvia, the only thing with her ability is Gold Rush. As long as the cargo of the ship is empty, Helvia increases the warp speed. Obviously, if you attack a ship, the cargo is not going to be empty at that point, therefore you're going to struggle. However, she increases it, for example, for mine. If we just confirm that she's on mine because she's maxed out, she increases it by 125% warp speed plus the 38% warp speed that you have from Stamets. And if we go back again to the same location as we were at before, if it was something obviously similarly far away, whenever I can find this bloody place, because it's always, there it is. So it was 7 minutes 30 without Stamets, it was 6 minutes with Stamets, and now with Helvia and Stamets, you're looking at a 4-minute time. So this is probably an excellent combination to use because you're still getting the speed bonus from Pan, you're still getting that relatively quick response time, you're still traveling quite quickly overall, and again, you're getting that excellent warp range capability. So if you do have access to these type of officers, then I recommend putting these type of officers together. Like I say, I was just trying to show you better ways that you can do missions, certain officers that you can use to get to places quicker and faster. These are just a bunch of different officers that you can use in this situation, and this is something that you can take forward. If you don't have like the Discovery, for example, and you can't use the instant warp capabilities of the Discovery, which are pretty cool, if you haven't got it, it is a pretty good thing to have hold of. If you don't have something like that because maybe you're too low, maybe you don't have the shipyard capability yet, if you have access to these type of officers, again, you don't really need Pan, but he adds the impulse speed. This one there, getting up to speed, he does add that 20% there and synergizes if you have the other officers. If you don't have him, then you can put Scotty in that position, and then he would just increase your warp range, enabling you to potentially reach areas that obviously you can't reach prior to that. But you want to get these ones up just because of the warp speed, because everything takes freaking ages to get to, and these do synergize together. So I would recommend putting them on if you just completed missions. If it's anything to do with taking down enemies, providing you got a ship high enough and you're going against enemies weak enough, you can probably do it with these officers and probably not lose too much health. If it's going against anything substantial, I would recommend not using this obviously setup whatsoever. And if you're going to go against players or other PvE methods, again, I wouldn't recommend using this setup at all. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it's been sort of somewhat informative. This is sort of a new take. I will release an update video tomorrow, so look forward to seeing that. The update video will be related to the channel and all the new content that's going to be coming out, and hopefully I can pan out what type of schedule I'm going to be able to stick to, just because I've got a lot of things at the moment going on, including university work and obviously I do work full-time and I do university part-time, so that takes up a lot of my time, pretty much the whole day. So I've got very limited time to do for this, but I'm trying my best to try and keep on top of things and try and keep new things and fresh things coming to all my subscribers. Once again, thank you to the new subscribers that are out there, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye for now.